Hello, hi. And so I was looking over some stuff today on Facebook. Really good page called Flat Earth _ that's how it's spelled. And on it they've got a post about one of the lost books of Enoch, and that book is the Book of Solomon. So remember, when we are deciphering old texts, especially religious texts, into getting truth, we are not like looking at it like, oh wow, this is the truth, we've got to follow it, like, you know, what's written there. Like, no, it's not that. It's the sacred knowledge of the world that they've taken and they've put into this book. So it's about decoding these messages. Okay, so the Book of Enoch is available for download. Anybody can just download it. Yeah, in fact, I'm probably going to put up a link after this on the page for anybody that wants to do that and have a read through. I've had a skim. I've not had a complete read, and just in the same way I've read the Bible, skimmed every part of that, and I couldn't say I completely read it either. It's very in depth. It's not really for like our minds. If you start reading it, like, you're just gonna read bare chapters and you're not really gonna, it's not gonna make any sense to you. It's a book that is created just as like a lot of things are created in this world, to be there for different parts at different times and different places of your life. So it's completely dimensional. So I'm gonna read through this comment. So this is the Testament of Solomon 1:13. And when they were gone, I ordered Orneus to be brought forward and said to him, "Tell me, how do you do this?" And he answered, "We demons ascend into the firmament of heaven and fly about among the stars. And we hear the sentences which go forth upon the souls of men, and forth will we come, and whether by force of influence or by fire or by sword or by some accident, we veil our act of destruction. And if a man does not die by some untimely disaster or by violence, then we demons transform themselves in such a way as to appear to men and be worshipped in our human nature." Okay. 1:14. I, therefore, having heard this, glorified the Lord God, and again questioned the demons, saying, "Tell me how we can ascend into the heaven, being demons, and amidst the stars and holy angels intermingle." And he answered, "Just as things are fulfilled in heaven and also on earth are fulfilled, there are types of all of them." Okay, so okay, yeah, I'm gonna go a bit more into the other bit. I was gonna break it down the first bit, yeah. So the first bit, what they talk about. Remember, this religious book, they are dissecting what is good and bad for their determinations of what they want you to think is good and bad. Yeah. So there's no demons. There's only angels. We've got higher angels and lower angels, and if you can imagine ourselves as being from the beginning of creation, like it being somewhat what they told us, like what the Big Bang is, yeah, but it's a Big Bang, a spiritual Big Bang, where everything that we have to just learn and go through in the beginning has to be learned first in order to become like a physical being experiencing life in this physical realm. So the spirit is going through a lot, yeah, and we are continuously connected to both our higher and lower selves as well. So, and it's an infinite amount of selves, and like it's difficult to explain like completely, but basically everything that we get from our creation is what we learn from. So these lower, so just bring it, I'll turn it back on here, baby. Yeah, so these lower selves, they're saying that the lower selves rise from your lower self into a physical self, into your higher self. So they're giving us now the pathway of the spirit. This is what they're trying to say. Yeah, so obviously if you are brainwashed by the rest of the book by now and you think that, okay, yeah, like that means, oh my God, they're worshipping demons. No, it doesn't. Actually, what it means is that learning from your past experience and your past lives and your lower selves here in this current reality as well, like connecting with yourself. So they're asking the lower selves, what do we do? Like, we're here physical and we want to transcend, to ascend, to become part of the firmament. So they do throw that in there. This is before they took all of these books out, so you couldn't read them. Yeah. So how do we become a part of that firmament now? How do we ascend to be like our ascended masters? And to which when it says to them, oh, so all of these things, by influence or by fire, by sword or some accident or veil of destruction. So these are all shit that's going to happen to you, just like how we've had it happen to us in a spiritual sense. You're having it to you, happening in your physical sense now. And if you make it through all of that, which making it is learning from all of that, because in order for them to transcend and become us, they had to learn what that path was all about, so that they could now become the physical beings that we are. Yeah. So just do the same as we done that, and then he said, therefore, having heard this, glorify God, like a question with you, saying, tell me, how can you ascend and have been demons and Mr. Stars, holy angels intermingle? Okay. And he answered, just as things are fulfilled in heaven, also on earth are fulfilled. There were all types of them. So yeah, so we're talking about purpose here again, yeah. So that you don't just like come here to like live and that's it, just live and die and think you're going somewhere. If you've not know where you come from, if you not know what you're doing, if you're not even trying to do something good for the earth, then you actually have to try again, because you are a part of everything as well. Everyone is a part of each other. So there's not really that no slack like given. There's mercy, you know, and we're not infinite amount of times. We've had very many times, and those infinite chances is just how many chances we need in it. So, yeah. So to be able to do that, but yeah, one needs to be able to have fulfilled their purpose by doing that, to be able to ascend. Okay, so the next bit, let's see if I can read this quickly. So for there are principalities, authorities, world rulers, and demons fly about in the air, and we hear the voices of the heavenly beings, and surveys of all the powers, and having no grounds, so I can't see it, and as having no grounds on which to alight and rest, we lose strength and fall like leaves from the trees, and men seeing us imagine that the stars are falling from heaven. Okay, so principalities, authorities, world rulers, and demons, they fly about in the air. We hear the voice of the heavenly beings, surveys of all powers. What do I think that means? I'm reading this bit actually for the first time. I think what it is talking about is that those blockages, those that stay between the challenges, or I'm going to call them blockages because they blocked us for a long time, but the challenges that we're meant to overcome, they're in the face of all the powers that are in control of us here. Yeah. And hear the voice of the heavenly beings survey all the powers. So it talks about heavenly beings, and he's having no ground to which to alight and rest. We lose strength and fall like leaves from the trees, and men seeing us imagine that the stars are falling from heaven. So he's talking about return of the ancestors there. They're saying that like before ascension, yeah, that the ancestors themselves will actually see what's happening here in this place, and that will be controlled like that, and they'll actually return to help us, and that's what's happening now. So this is the time of awakening now, and these are the things that I'm observing with everybody, and yeah, so this is what's happening. People are connecting with self, they're connecting with spirit, they're beginning to ask the right questions, beginning to do the things that they need to do. Somehow it's just coming to them. It's not that it's somehow it's just coming to them. It's that these things have all been it's a basic science, actually. It's basic, like, conscious science, that when you begin to understand and know the pattern of, like, how things work. And the first part of the scripts there gave us a good detail of how to be able to understand that pattern by looking back on what is the creation beforehand and seeing how that could affect us now, and even working that out as well. You can look at other patterns in the universe to see and work out from the stories, and see and work out from yourself and your own practical experience of awakening some of what might have been happening there in a time of creation of the universe. Yeah, but it is not really so, O King, but we fall because of our weakness, and because we have nowhere anything to lay hold of. We have fallen like lightnings in the depth of the night, and suddenly we set cities in flames and fire the hills. For the stars have firm foundations in the heavens like the sun and the moon. Again, stars have firm foundations in the heavens like the sun and the moon. This is, we're talking again about the connection, that those things are set, they're impenetrable. They would say they move within the firmament. Maybe it's even our firmament that's moving, because firmament itself is like like a toroidal field, but it's somewhat a metaphysical thing, because it exists outside. Well, a lot of it exists outside of what physical things are, but it still becomes physical to us. So it's a multi-dimensional. It is a being. But it's a conscious being, but it's not like a being like us, and a firmament. It's part of our mother as well, but completely out of, we cannot comprehend what that. But but the firmament, these things are attached to it, so they're movable, they are unshakable, we are not they're not in any way, form, something's gonna happen to them, and our world universe they're saying that, like, we cannot be broke. Those things can't be broken or moved from there. Yeah. And also, last said, but it's really not, King, we fall because of our weakness, and because we have no identity to hold of. So I was mentioning this before about sometimes when you are like weak, this is another prophecy. This is not about people like, doing bad things and they're falling, they're weak or whatever. It's about the pathway of the spirit, that we drawn to our weakest points so that we may learn to grow from those weakest points. So when we see these things in reflection in society, and we see everything tumbling like down on us, literally wars and people killing and people eating babies and people doing all these terrible, horrendous, disgusting things. These are the things that are actually prophesied like long ago, that these things are going to happen and needs to happen for enough for our spirit to wake up, for our ancestors to connect with us again. And so we fall like lightning to the depth of the night, and suddenly we set cities on fire to flames, and we're literally seeing that as well at the moment. So another prophecy in there about the pyrotechnics. There's a lot of pyrotechnics. You know what I'm talking about? Things coming on fire in it everywhere, burning down, and some of those things are burning down or not burning down. So you see, the things about these prophecies is that people are there to fulfill the prophecies. Sometimes they want to do fake things as well, because they want to control that what it is. But there's going to be real things as well happening around that, with real people who are doing that. So look out for that. So there's loads of good things. So yeah, I just wanted to go through that and just like do a decoding of that live for you, so that you can really begin to become comfortable with decoding your own stuff as well. So when you go to do things, and I'm going to put a link in there on the page of the Book of Enoch. So please, have a read of that and really think about those points when you're reading. And if you've got any good points, please do share them with us. Everybody, share your research now, because it's research. There's nothing about us that should be hidden from us, or should it be understood. No fair, no more. We're with the goddess. So love, to you all. Thank you so much. Now we had like, I think it's maybe just one person in there so far, but we're still a small group. Thank you, Sister Bianca. Mwah. Beautiful Bianca. Yeah, and to anyone else who's gonna watch the video as well, please do comment underneath. Thank you. Love, lights always. One love. I'm a menace.